All right, welcome everyone. It is top of the hour, and we're getting some individuals coming in to the Vasion webinar, Vasion Automate webinar, February 20th. We have a lot of good stuff to go over today. As individuals trickle in, if you want to go ahead and post in the chat section where you are calling in from today. We'll see some of the diverse places people are calling in from, streaming in from, dialing in from. Clark County, Washington. All right, welcome, Chris. I'm coming in from Draper, Utah, just a little bit south of Salt Lake City. University of Alabama, Tuscaloosa. Welcome, Kim. St. Paul, Minnesota. Baton Rouge, Roseburg, Oregon. Dallas, Texas. All right, and if you're just now tuning in, we're all sending in the chat just where we're calling in from. Okay, finally, someone outside of the across the pond, UK, from Manchester. Welcome, Downey, California, aka City of Angels. Abby, of course, Montana. Okay, this is, we'll get going. I'll add a few introductions here. This is the final customer-facing webinar for Vasion Automate. We have additional webinars coming up later this month for MSP partners and resellers, but for direct customers, this one is for you. Welcome. We have some great things to go over. We're going to introduce what is Vasion Automate, talk about that a little bit. We're going to do a demo of Vasion Automate, and then we'll hold a Q&A. So a lot of cool things. To kick things off, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we'll play a little video to get everyone excited this morning. If perhaps you're in Manchester, closer to this evening at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock p.m. But we're glad each and every one of you are here, and I will go ahead and share. Okay, awesome. I'll hit play. All right, let's automate. Let's get right into it. Got to go to the next slide. There we go. So I'm joined today by Sue Caniglia. She's the Director of Product here at Vasion. I'm Eric Judd, Product Marketing Manager. And We have some words recorded from Sue that we'll be sharing as she introduces Vasion Automate and the product we've built that provides an expanded interface with your existing printer logic experience. Okay.
All right. Doesn't that look exciting? Hey, everyone. We are so thrilled to be talking to you today about Vasion Automate. My name is Sue Caniglia. I'm a director of product here at Vasion, and I'm joined by Eric Judd, who's a senior product marketing manager.
There you go, Sue. YouTube wanted to start again. Sorry about that.
Why don't we move to the next slide? So we can talk about what is Automate. Well, here at Vasion, we really want to help enable our customers to have the ability to digitize and automate your everyday processes. And to do that, Vasion Automate combines print and digital processes to streamline those systems and boost efficiency. And we do this with products like captures. So if you think about simplified scanning, where you can scan to email or scan to cloud storage. We also do it with forms, where you can create web or PDF forms. And signatures can be incorporated into forms, and as well as workflows, where you can manage approvals, all that with the print solution that you use and value today. So why don't we look at what's new? Well, Printer Logic is now branded as Vasion Print in the admin console, one of many products in Vasion Automate. But the great part is that your admin experience has not changed at all. The admin console functionality remains exactly the same, but now you'll have that left rail that shows up on the side so that you have access to these great new features. And your end users, their experience doesn't change at all. So what kind of problems are we solving? If you go to the next slide, you're probably used to having a lot of different applications to help you manage workflows or maybe even manual steps that you're doing. And these apps can be siloed and disconnected, tedious to learn and even use, and sometimes even waste time. But getting your processes done really quick and quickly, along with gathering that right data, is so important. Poorly connected systems fail to create that seamless experience that we all desire. There's a learning curve, which creates confusion, and of course, those growing costs that are associated with having so many different applications. All of this results in wasted time and money. You know, 78% of business leaders believe they could save up to 3 hours a day by automating tasks, and that equates to roughly 30 hours a month per employee. 70% of businesses believe that an automation solution is going to create more effective teams, and 90% of employees are burdened with those repetitive, manual, and boring tasks. But Vasion can connect your company and boost efficiency by reducing time spent on those repetitive and manual tasks. It's easy to use, it bridges the print world with the digital world, and it drives savings. It's going to make you a hero and allow you to focus time on those really important things. Our initial focus is the IT admins like yourself and the processes you face daily. So you'll be able to reduce turnaround time for onboarding and offboarding, easily manage those workflows around hardware and software requests, and even support employee and customer feedback by getting that right data. And it all starts with opting into that new login page for your instance. So we've been rolling out the opt-in modal now for a little while, intentionally to gather feedback from customers and ensure you have that seamless experience. We're going to continue to accelerate that process. So by early March, all eligible instances will have that opportunity to opt in. And if you want to fast track that opt-in, We have a process to request that by simply filling out a form. And if you have questions about whether or not you're eligible, just reach out to your customer success rep. Once you opt in, you'll have access to the new login page that supports both print and Vasion products. It also supports identity providers and single sign-on. And then after you log in, all admins with admin console access will see that updated experience with that new side navigation so that you can access all the Vasion products. But you may be wondering what's actually available to you. I think the great news is that Automate is included with your Printer Logic instance, right? So you get 5 creators, and that's for forms and workflows. You get 2,500 completed workflows, which are workflows that are started and completed. And your print queues remain the same as before, so nothing changes there. If you need more creators or workflows, those are available as add-ons. And our print bundles are still available to address some of those special needs that you might have. So are you ready to see that experience? Eric, why don't you walk us through a demo?
All right, sounds good. So there's a little bit of an introduction to Vasion Automate, what we're looking to do and how it can be helpful to you. I'm going to walk through now a demo of your experience with the tool and how it is expanded and in addition to what you get with Printer Logic. So signing in to your existing interface, if I sign in here, I will land at Vasion Print. This will look very familiar to you. You recognize this console for with Printer Logic, but what is new is this additional purple bar on the left, which provides opportunities to build forms, to include signatures, to design workflows. What you already know with print, where nothing has changed. It's the same exact experience, same exact capabilities, etc. And then a console for creating within Automate creators of forms and workflows. So if I jump first into the forms builder with this expanded with these expanded capabilities, click here on forms, and you will see there are a number of templates here. These are the templates I have, forms that are either in a published state or in a draft state that I can still edit. And these forms are used to collect data from individuals that they're sent to. So if I were to go ahead, there are 2 ways to create a form. This button in the top right-hand corner plus new form. When I click on that, I see I can either create a form based on an existing PDF that's uploaded, or I can create a form from scratch with web form. Looking first at the PDF, I have one down here, the sign up form. If I were to come in and just preview that real quick, you would see that I have uploaded a sign up form for Little League. And on top of that, you'll see these components that I've added with DIY drag and drop capabilities. So that rather than filling out this form with a pen, you can type in data, you can enter dates with pick lists, you can click to sign, and so forth. You can upload a signature, draw a signature, or type your signature. It's really easy and to create forms like this, and can be done so in an efficient manner. So that's a PDF form, but if we were building a form from scratch and we didn't have a PDF to go off of, that's where Vasion Automate can become really powerful. I'll come in here to this draft. I'll show you what it looks like currently. This is a draft for a form that would help us onboard a new hire. And that's a use case we will be walking through today. So previewing this form, this preview right here, this took me about 2 to 3 minutes to create. I had a logo on hand, so I drag and dropped the logo at the top. I typed some text, new hire onboarding form, please enter your information. I dragged and dropped a number of text fields over, added a radio button for whether the individual would need a monitor, and had start dates. Really quick to do, really easy. But if we needed to add a few additional fields to this, this is how we'd do it. So I come in here to this draft. I go, let's edit it. We have some changes we want to make. Here's what the forms builder currently looks like. If, say, we knew that with building this form, we wanted individuals to upload any files that were important, I can just drag and drop this file component right there. I can edit it. There's all sorts of customizability here, but perhaps I wanted to say, please upload necessary forms. Okay, save that. And we have that right here. And individuals can upload all the forms they need to with this. They can upload all the documents they need with this online form. In addition to that, perhaps I needed a signature at the bottom. Right there, there's a signature component. For the layout, perhaps I wanted 2 columns, for example. I can bring in, here's the layout here, and now I have 2 spaces, and I can customize that layout to different sizes, number of columns, rows, etc. And let's see, perhaps I need to add, we'll just drag some over to show you what can be done. That, and then a checkbox. I wanted to add a checkbox, and I can customize that. So really easy to adjust things. You can change the size, make it exactly what you want it to be, and it doesn't take a lot of time. Now to preview how our form has changed, we see it just took me a few clicks of the mouse to add a couple of components and have us ready to go with this form to help onboarding a new hire. I'm going to exit out of this preview mode and share. If I were to exit out now, right here, I'm not going to save the draft at this point in time, but there is a form we will be using later on in this demo when we create a workflow. And that form is this new hire onboarding form. Previously, we looked at the draft of it, but I'll just preview it one more time. Here's that form. We're going to insert it into a workflow that we have so that it can be sent to the appropriate person at the right point in time. So where we go from there, we come into this workflow capability. You'll notice here we have a product icon for signature. Right now, signature is available as a component that can be placed on top of a form, but as the product grows and becomes more robust, we'll have a complete and separate signature product located here at this button. So clicking on workflow and moving to there, you'll see that there are 3 tabs underneath workflow. There's the templates tab, which is what we're looking at right now. You'll see all the templated workflows that I have or to use. Also, we have 2 other tabs, active. So I can come in here and see templates that have been sent out to an individual. We'll see this one right here, demo new hire, step 2 out of 4. So I want to click on that and understand a little bit more what's going on. Click on that. Looks like there's 4 steps to this workflow. After the first 2 steps, something was sent to Shannon voice, but it never got beyond that. And so that gives us the opportunity to go in and understand, hey, we have a workflow, has multiple steps to it where there's a form that needs to be filled out. Someone needs to approve that form. It's sent to another person for approval, but it never got beyond that second step. So we can go in and follow up with Shannon and understand exactly what's going on. Okay, exiting out of there. So we see here all of the workflows I have that are currently being run. And then also my completed workflows that have gone from start to finish. Previously in the webinar today, Sue talked about completed workflows. This comes with 2,500 completed workflows. and a completed workflow is defined as a template that has been started and run from start to finish. And when it appears here in the completed section, that's when it's considered as being complete. Okay. So coming back here to templates, we have, I want to go over real quick before we actually run a workflow. I want to just show real quick how to build a workflow from scratch. So we'll come in, just like in Forms, there's this plus button up at the top right, plus new workflow. So I'm going to click on that. And you'll see we have the opportunity here to create rules. That has to do more with printing and the rules and triggers there. But what we're focusing on here with Automate in the forms is the business process. Create a business process for internal and external users. I'm going to click on that, add a new step. Let's name this. This is the demo workflow. Okay, so we've named it. We've clicked add a new step, and we have two choices at this point in time. Either add an approval step or a form step. Previously, we created that form for hiring a new employee. So I'm going to click on form right here. Which form do we want to include? Well, I'm going to click on that. Here's all the forms that I have in the forms section of my Vasion Automate instance. We know that this new hire onboarding form is one that we want to use. We previewed that previously. So I'm going to click on that. Who would you like to assign this form to? I'm going to have it, let's just say that for the instance of this demo, I am the new employee. I haven't been hired at the company yet. So I'm going to look up my name. It'll be available if they're a user here in a drop-down menu, or you can add an external user where you can click on and enter an individual's Gmail, Yahoo, or whatever their email address may be. For the instances of today, I'm going to add myself, my Vasion email instance, and hit save. And just like that, we've created the first step in a workflow. From here, I want to add a couple extra steps to make sure we have a more robust onboarding experience accounted for. So I'm going to click add additional step. We know we've gathered some information in the new hire onboarding form, but now I want to have that information be reviewed and approved. So who's going to do that? Well, we have this individual here at Vasion named Shannon. He's actually one of our product managers, but I'm going to pretend like Shannon is in HR and he's going to be reviewing this. So I'll add his name there. What needs to be approved? Well, we have from this first step, this submit what would be a submitted form. So I'm going to click on that. We need that to be approved. What do you want the approval description today to say? Please review and approve of this info, ... And I could include an entire robust description at that point in time. With the steps, approve or reject or accept. Perhaps I want the other one to say deny. Maybe if he denies the information or say needs additional info, perhaps that's a button he could click on, and I could require a comment to have Shannon explain more of what is needed. So I'll hit save. So we have our second step in the form created. If I wanted a third step, I could add another form in. Let's say we want a new hire satisfaction survey. We wanted that in so that once Shannon approves of the information, an additional email will then sequentially go out to, let's say, to Eric Judd. I'm the new employee, to fill out a survey about how my experience was being onboarded as a new employee. So I'll click that and I can go on continually from there. I'm going to stop right there and just not add any additional steps, but you can see how an entire workflow to represent a complex business process can be built. I can navigate to different parts of that workflow by clicking on these buttons in the workflow steps here on the right. And that would automatically scroll down to that section of the workflow or scroll back up to wherever I am. It makes it really easy to navigate a complex process. Exiting out of this example that we've just built, we are going to look at this demo workflow that I already have built for the purposes of today. It's this demo new hire onboarding. I'm going to click on that, and you'll see that there are these steps included right here. The new hire onboarding form, which will be sent to the new employee, Eric Judd. Then it'll be sent to be approved. For the purposes of today, I have it sent to myself so I can access it in my email inbox. It'll be sent to me. Then we'll have another approval by Shannon, and then it'll be finished off with a satisfaction survey sent to the new employee. Cool. We'll exit out of that. Now, this is a published workflow. There are others in draft form, but because it's published, we're able to then send it out to run it. To do so, I'd come over to this button right here with the three dots and hit Start Workflow. And by doing that, that will trigger an email to be sent to the first to the person assigned to in the first step of the workflow. So I click on that Start Workflow, and what will happen is it'll come right here, and this action required email will be sent to Eric Judd. This is my inbox, and we have Eric Judd has requested you to fill out new hire onboarding form. Okay, that looks interesting. I'm going to click on it. And here's the email that the individual in the first step would receive. They have the button to click on where they can go to form. Eric Judd sent you a form to fill out. Cool, let's check it out. You can open up that form, and this will look familiar. This is the new hire onboarding form. Who's the new employee? Let's say Abby Smith. She's the new, let's say this had been sent to Abby. She's the new employee we need to onboard. This could be sent to her, whoever it was sent to. Department, she's in marketing, laptop. She needs a MacBook Air. She'll need a monitor. Start date, we'll go March 1st. So you can see this could be sent directly to Eric, filling it out on behalf of someone else, or it could be sent directly to Abby. She can fill it out for herself. And it doesn't have to be sent to someone who has a license with Vasion Automate. It could be sent to a third party. So there's the form. It's been filled out. I'm going to go ahead and submit it. Now, what happens when I submit that form? We have that new hire onboarding form submitted. Form complete. Wasn't that easy. You can close the window now. Cool. Now, what will happen is a trigger sends an email to the next person that step 2 is assigned to. So because step 2 was assigned to Eric Judd as well, I have that email queued up in my inbox. It says action required. Eric Judd has requested your approval. And if you remember, the second step in this workflow was to review the information submitted in step 1 and to either reject or approve it. So I'm going to go to click on the button here, go to approval. And we'll see now that we have the opportunity to view the form that was submitted previously. We'll start moving from left to right. On the left, you'll see this thumbnails section. Because there's just one page in this form, we only see one here. But if we had a form that was multiple pages long, dozens, 100 pages long, we'd be able to scroll down and click on the different pages there. Really cool that we can navigate through a form like that. You could zoom in, zoom out. Here's the information that Abby would have entered. She's in marketing, she needs a MacBook, etc. Now, as an approver, here on the right, I have 2 buttons I can click, approve or reject. Well, I've looked over everything. It looks accurate. I'm ready to action on it. Being in IT, I'm going to go approve. Okay, and approval completed. Okay, then the trigger sends an email to the person that step 3 is assigned to, and so forth. So it's a great way to automate business processes that we have, get away from manual emails, sending things off, trying to coordinate, and really streamline numerous different types of tasks that we have to work on. Okay. Now, that is a taste of Vasion Automate. If we were to come in now to the admin section, we have an ability to add users. We can create new accounts. Sue had talked about it comes with 5 users. we have the ability there, or if we can come in with admins, we can authenticate and add authentication types to different users. Right now, I use Okta, but the SSO capability of your choice can be added there. I'm gonna stop sharing screen now for a minute and let you take that in. Really excited to share it with you. The next portion of our webinar now, I want to make sure that we answer any questions that anyone has. We have about 20 plus minutes left in the webinar. So previously we used the webinar chat for individuals to say where you're calling in from. If now you'd use the Q&A section to post any questions you have. I have a number of colleagues on the phone, Kent Besaw from Customer Success, Shannon Voice, Dave Black, Maria. They are some of our all-star product managers. Please use the Q&A section of this webinar on Zoom. Submit any questions. We want to make sure we have you set up for success and understand exactly what's taking place with this expanded interface, Vasion Automate. All right. As questions come in, I will review on just one more occasion what Sue had shared previously. I'm going to share my screen just one more time. And on the past webinars, we've had a few questions about just how the licensing works and what all is included. So I'll go over that one more time because repetition always helps. So what we have now is Vasion Automate Core. What's included there? Included is everything that you have and are familiar with your printer logic instance. Nothing has changed with your printer logic instance. It's the same licensing structure for print queues and etc. However, there's an expanded interface. You saw the purple navigation rail that provides opportunity to create forms, signatures, workflows, etc. And so to set you up for success doing that, we include at no additional cost 5 creators of forms and workflows. These are individuals that can create forms, create workflows, but you don't have to be a creator to fill out a form or to have a form sent to you. And then 2,500 completed workflows. A completed workflow is defined as a workflow that you hit start, you hit run, and it goes from the first step all the way to the last step and shows up there in that completed workflow library within the workflow tab. 2,500. We set that number to encourage usage so that you can get familiar with it and really get some solid value out of Vasion Automate. And then it comes with 25 print queues and the same print licensing. It all remains the same as what you're familiar with. And if you've purchased more than 25 print queues, that remains the same. Nothing changes, costs don't change. Okay. And it comes with, the 4 buttons in the left navigation rail that you saw. Scott, you submitted a question in the Q&A. When or will you have a solution for V4 drivers with Vasion Print? I'm not familiar what V4 drivers are. Do any of the PMs on the call, are you able to speak to this question?
Yeah, so unfortunately, that's not in the realm of any of the PMs on this call. But what we can do, Scott, is take a question down and have somebody reach out to you with that answer.
Thanks, Dave. Scott, I'll be reaching out to you specifically, and we'll follow up with that. Okay, and continuing with where I was with what is available. If you need to purchase more than those 5 Automate creators, additional creators are available for purchase. Additional Workflows are available for purchase in buckets of 10,000. And then it's the same print bundles as with the pricing and packaging you're already familiar with advanced security, output management, and cost management bundling. All right. Really glad I got to introduce you to this. One more piece that I can share in review. We've had a number of webinars already, so perhaps individuals had questions, got their questions answered there. But I will share one more thing on the rollout of Vasion Automate, when you should expect to see it, and how you'll be able to get it. Sue covered this previously, but I want to go over it one more time in case any questions arise. Okay, sharing my screen here, you'll see what the opt-in process is like for Vasion Automate. On February 6th, we began rolling out Vasion Automate to PrinterLogic customers on a controlled basis to make sure that there was a great user experience. What does that mean? And we began to roll it out. So over the next month, we will have a phased opt-in experience where PrinterLogic customers will see a pop-up when they go to log into their PrinterLogic instance, and this pop-up will allow them to opt in to participate in Vasion Automate. You can click yes, I want to opt in, or no, not at this time. If you hit opt in, yes, I want to opt in, then you just need to sign the terms and services, and just like that, you'll be ready to go. So if you haven't seen that initial opt-in yet, just wait. It'll be coming in the next few weeks. We just want to make sure we roll it out at a pace that ensures everyone has a really good user experience. And then in early March, all eligible instances will have the opportunity to opt in. In the meantime, if you want Vasion Automate today, if you want it now, you don't want to wait another couple of weeks for it to be rolled out to you, go to vasion.com/automate. Toward the bottom of that page, you'll see a form that can be filled out for you to request immediate access. That form will have you describe your account a little bit better so that we can fast track you, kind of like going to Disneyland and getting the fast pass. We'll move you up to the front of the queue, and it'll be likely that someone from Kent's team on customer success will reach out to you, get you coordinated, and have a conversation, and get that rolling. Okay. Chris, thank you for joining. If you have any questions, reach out to your customer success manager. I'm sure they would love to walk you through it and answer anything. Other than that, I'll stay on for another couple of minutes, but I really appreciate the time. Thanks everyone who tuned in, and best of luck with your future usage of Vasion Automate. Scott, thank you.